Lone Depot Park is the first of three. The Marlins and the Nationals on Players Weekend throughout Major League Baseball. We will be learning the players' interests off the field. And for Pete Fairbanks, that interest includes Harry Potter. Lucky for him, it's Harry Potter night here tonight, so we sorted his teammates into different houses. Let's start with the Gryffindors. Who are the Gryffindors on the team? And I've got the lineup here.
All right.
What do we think?
Well, Casey, as we know, fiery red hair, probably a Weasley. We're going to slide him into Gryffindor. Conine, obviously, for the name. And then I'm going to go Joe Mack as our final Gryffindor.
Let's move on to the Ravenclaws, which are the wise, witty, book-smart group. Who would it be?
To be honest with you, I don't know how many Ravenclaws we have.
Of the position
I'm just going to throw that out there that, I mean, maybe you could have had a dual typing with Griffin Conine since he's a Duke guy. But, I mean, maybe like a Marcy and a Stowers, maybe.
What about the Hufflepuffs? So the people who get along with everyone, they're just nice folks. Who are they?
Navi is 100% Hufflepuff. Logan Driscoll, new addition, 100% Hufflepuff. And then, you know, I might throw Marcy in there too. Marcy, sneaky. I'll take the lot and teach them too. He'd be a great addition to Hufflepuff House.
All right, last but not least, the Cunning, the Slytherins. Who are they?
X, 100%.
Why is that?
You know, if you spend enough time around X, you'll be like, you know what? You know, if the Sorting Hat, if that old patchwork Wizard's hat gets put on his head, it's probably going to say Slytherin. Let's see, who else do we have here? Not with us anymore, but Connor Norby for sure, Slytherin as well. I think we're going to mix Sonoha into the Slytherins.
Why would you say? Not a Hufflepuff?
No, not a Hufflepuff.
Why not?
He's, you know, I've just watching him a little more closely recently. I think he's got some Slytherin characteristics, yeah.
Keep it right here on Marlins.tv. More from Pete Fairbanks and more on Players Weekend when we return on this Friday night. It's Nats Fish Face Off. Your favorite broadcasters, Kyle Seelow, Tommy Hutton, will have your call next.
The Fan.
Miami Marlins baseball is presented by Werner Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia, the official law firm of the Miami Marlins. By FPL. And by UHealth, pushing medicine forward. Well, if you're nearby and before you roll over to Lone Depot Park, make sure you check out beautiful Little Havana in Calle Ocho. We're inside of Lone Depot Park for game one of this three-game series tonight between the Nationals and the Marlins. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Nationals, brought to you by FPL. Oddly enough, the Nationals, one of the better offenses in baseball, have been better on the road this season than they have at home. That's the starting lineup, and there's a couple of huge notable omissions. No James Wood, no C.J. Abrams. Without those two, the complexity of this Nationals lineup is totally different.
Yeah, sometimes when you have a lineup like that, you really want to take advantage of it. Ryan Gusto will try to do that, making his 12th start of the year, but go back his last three starts. He's thrown the ball extremely well. He's kept the ball in the strike zone also.
All right, Hud, it's great to see you. Great to be back with you. And away we go on a Friday night here in South Florida. Nice to see the Marlins back home. Dalen Lyle leading things off for the Nationals. This is a struggling ball club. They're 61-68. They are 14.5 games back in the National League East race. Their playoff hopes have all but faded as Lyle takes inside to count 1 ball and 1 strike. But again, throughout the course of this season, this is a Nationals ball club that's been pretty darn good. They've hit the most homers in baseball, 6th most doubles, 3rd most triples. But things looking a lot different these days without James Wood, who has an oblique issue, and C.J. Abrams, who rolled his ankle in their most recent stop on this 3-city road trip in Arlington.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Abrams in one of these games over the weekend.
Actually kind of crazy. You watch the video back, you wonder why he's not on the injured list.
Yeah.
I guess his ankle's like Teflon. It looked pretty nasty when he rolled his ankle against the Rangers out at second base a couple of nights ago. You hope the Marlins are sharp in this outing with Gusto on the mound, because this is also a Nationals ball club that got into town at 4 o'clock this morning after a night game last night against the Rangers. And Ryan Gusto, 27-year-old right-hander, 17th appearance and 12th start of the season for the Marlins. As Lyle fouls off a cutter, 3rd career appearance and 2nd start for Gusto against the Nationals. Ryan went opposite of Brady Singer in the Reds in his last start, allowed 4 runs, only a couple earned on 6 hits over 4 2/3. As a 2-2 was cracked on a line into center field, and the Nationals have the leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, 2-2 curveball hung up there in a nice hitting zone for Lyle. Let's take a look at the Doral Kia defense. There's Heriberto and Marcy and Owen Casey in the outfield. Otto and X up the middle. Leo Jimenez at 3rd. Griffin over at first base, getting used to that position. Joe Mack behind the plate.
So leadoff single for Dalen Lyle. Here is Jorbit Bibas, the second baseman for Washington. Takes a high strike, and Bibas turns around, looks at the home plate umpire Rob Drake, and says, wait a minute, I've got to challenge that pitch. Unfortunately for Bibas, he tried to challenge far too late.
Challenge was a little late. The helmet tap. He's getting an opportunity to play. Nunez had been at second with Abrams at short, but with Abrams out, Bibas getting a chance.
No balls, 1 strike to count on Bibas. That one misses up and away. The interesting wrinkle with all that, Hut, is that a couple of weeks ago when Abrams was healthy, the Nationals announced that Abrams would be playing the remainder of the season at second base, and the former Marlin, Nasim Nunez, would go to shortstop. We'll see how all that shakes out, of course. Ground ball towards first base. Edwards has got it. Who's covering? That's Conine. Nice recovery there for the out.
Yeah, it's one of those putouts you write down in your scorebook 4-3. But you know what? It was so much more. How about the reactions of Griffin Conine starting for the 7th time at first base to get back up quickly, get over there before his pitcher, and receive the throw from Xavier. And Xavier waited. He didn't speed things up. There's a perfect example. Just slow things down. Everything will just materialize there. And it worked out.
Nicely done. Edwards making his 123rd start of the season at second base tonight. Here is Andres Chaparro, who's been one of the better Nationals at the plate over his last 12 games. Young man batting .333, serving as the Nationals' designated hitter this evening. You know, the one thing I like about Ryan Gusto, he hasn't worked deep into games, but he's allowed 3 earned runs or fewer in 9 of his 11 starts this season. He has constantly, when asked to start, given this team an opportunity to win games, as that's bounced foul.
Yeah, he's done what he's been asked to do, and he hasn't been asked to go deep into games. Consequently, he's gone 5 or more innings, just 2 of his 11 starts.
And a big reason why they're trusting him a little bit more, a 5.9% walk rate, well below league average, so he's not out there hurting himself. He pounds the zone. That one missed a little too far outside, 2-2.
Well, he's going to pound it with 4-seamers, with changeups, cutters, sweepers, some sinkers, a few sliders, and he'll mix in a curveball, which we've seen.
He's got a nice little repertoire. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count on Chaparro. Runner at second, and a fastball at 96 misses high. But fastball is something that Clayton McCullough was talking about earlier this afternoon. The one thing that has encouraged the staff with Gusto is that he's maintained his velocity throughout the course of the year. And that is low for ball 4. Again, Gusto does not issue many free passes. That's just the 15th in 54 innings of work this season, but the Nationals have first and second with 1 away here in the first.
Yeah, and we talked about the breakdown in his last 3 outings. 15 strikeouts, just 1 walk during that time.
So first and second, a scoring opportunity here for the Nationals. And here is Abimelec Ortiz, who flies a cutter deep to center. It's going to hang up and stay in the yard for Marcy, who makes the catch. Lyle will tag. He'll go to third. Throw cut off by Lopez. First and third, but now there's 2 out, and there's an escape route here in the inning for Gusto.
Good job on Abimelec Ortiz also. I was just going to stick with Abby.
I think we can after this.
After this, we can.
This one's easier to pronounce. Here's the third baseman, Brady House, who's been making the most of his opportunities in 22 games since his recall from AAA Rochester, batting .265. Right-handed hitting third baseman, playing in his 9th career game against the Marlins tonight. It's the Nationals ball club that's lost 5 of 6 in 15 of their last 21. As House takes a center cut heater for strike one, 0-1.
Yeah, the thing about Brady House, he earned his way back because in his 50 games at AAA, he hit over 300.
No balls, 1 strike to count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Just showed you a shot of the youngest manager in baseball, Blake Butera.
34 years old, out of Boston College.
Hey, so many people say you start managing, you age. I don't think at 34 Blake's aging all that much.
Even if he does, you're not going to notice.
He won't know for a few years. And there is strike 3 called. 96-mile-an-hour heater on the outside corner. No score after a half inning of play.
Dermatologist about Bimzelx.
Marlins TV is presented by Warner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia. Boy, a beautiful Friday night here in the Magic City. Beach rather empty. Sun setting, but the weekend just beginning. Always nice to be back home. Clayton McCullough and the boys ready to go. See if they can pick up another win here at home. Griffin Conine is due up third here in the first. Your Hard Rock bet odds tonight for Conine. The under and over on 1.5 total bases you see there. Take a look at the starting lineup for the Marlins, brought to you by Warner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia. Marcy, Casey, Conine, Edwards, Lopez, Hernandez, Mac, Ramirez, and Jimenez. Some healthy OPSs in that starting lineup. And that is flown in the air to left. To his right, Lyle makes the catch, and there's one away.
Check on the numbers of the 26-year-old right-hander, Brad Lord. There they are. He's started just 3 times, and he's not gone very far in those starts. There's the scouting report. A lot of ground balls, though. Over 55% ground balls, and yes, a divine sinker. And of course, a guy who's an 18th rounder. You don't see a whole lot of them get to this level and, you know, pitch or play consistently.
Yeah. And a little familiarity with the Sunshine State. He was an 18th round pick in 2022 by the Nationals out of the University of South Florida. He was a terrific bull, a South Florida bull. Here's his journey. Born in Tallahassee. Started his college career at Santa Fe College. 531st overall pick. Not many of those guys in that round make it, my friends.
So he was also a Santa Fe Saint. The terrific JUCO program up in Gainesville.
He is Mr. Lord. He was a Saint. He's also a bull. Some numbers for Owen Casey, who asks for time, over 93 games this season. Casey coming off a rough road trip, 1 for 12 with a double, and just 5 for 39 in 13 games since his return from the injured list. Love Players Weekend. Love to see some of the bats that these guys bring to the plate as Casey cracks that in the air. Back of third, long way to go for House, and he gets there in time. 2 out for Lord.
Now let's see what Doral Kia has for you defensively as far as the Nationals are concerned. Dalen Lyle, Young, and Cruz in the outfield. Nasim Nunez, former Marlin. He's at short. Orbit Vivas at second. Ortiz and House at the corners, and Ruiz, Keibert Ruiz, a very solid backstop behind the plate.
He's gotten much better. It's an area that the Nationals have been so very happy this season under their new skipper. But Keibert Ruiz, a big part of that Max Scherzer deal years ago, has made some big strides behind the plate as Griffin Conine comes to the plate. Speaking of strides, if you're a baseball, you're screaming these days because Griff, when he makes contact, has been tearing the cover off the ball. It's been an absolute joy to watch. He has a .950 OPS post All-Star break. There's his August numbers: 5 homers, 11 RBIs, 8 runs scored, batting .278 with a double to boot. And there's ball 4. Brad Lord was scared of him.
Well, and one of the reasons Brad Lord knows that Griffin Conine's OPS against righties is over 1,000.
Some of the Nationals folks we were talking to earlier this afternoon, this is like a hybrid between a bullpen game and an opener. The expectation, Lord is going to give you more than an inning or two. They're stretching him out to serve as a starter, but will he go 5? I don't know. We'll see. That's Simon
Probably
Matthews.
not. Probably not. Yeah, his last outing, they wanted him to go a little deeper, but he walked 4 in the first inning, and he went just 2/3 of an inning.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Here's Xavier Edwards. He had a nice road trip. He was 9 for 23 at the dish. Facing the righty Lord, who he's 0 for 2 against in his career. And he falls behind nothing at 2. Look at that bat, huh? It looks like one of the ones you used to use. Multicolored. Right?
Yeah, we didn't have those multicolored.
No
things.
Players Weekend bats for
they
Tommy.
They were all the same. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw some in the dugout, and Kelly was down there, took a photo of 4 of them, and they were beautiful. Bats look great.
Kelly has much more. I'd like to get her in as soon as possible if this falls for Edwards, but it won't. We'll check in with Kelly when we return. Dalen Lyle makes the catch, and the side is retired.
Esta transmisión de los Marlins está disponible en español.
You ever played dominoes, Hut? You a domino guy?
I have, yeah. I've told a story. I used to play a little bit with Willie Montanez.
Okay.
We were both with the Phillies in the clubhouse a little bit.
It was a clubhouse game back in the day?
Yeah.
A little dominoes. No score, top 2, and Keibert Ruiz keeps that soft liner fair inside the bag at 3rd. And after a big turnaround first, he'll be content with a leadoff single. So, a pair of leadoff singles in the first 2 innings for the Nationals.
By the way, a great job by Roberto Hernandez to get over quickly. Now, Ruiz doesn't run that well, but just in case Ruiz was thinking about 2 bases, he wasn't going to get there because Burke got to that ball quickly.
Ruiz at first, and here comes Dylan Cruz, who was the 2nd overall pick in 2023 out of LSU. He went directly behind his teammate Paul Skeens. How crazy is that situation, Hut? They got to be worried in Pittsburgh. They say not worried.
Took him out again in the 5th inning.
It's crazy. Something doesn't seem right. 0-1 the count on Cruz. This is a guy here that the Nationals, I think, are really still waiting to get it going. I mean, this is his 3rd major league season. It's his 194th game. Didn't spend a whole lot of time in the minor leagues, but when you're the 2nd overall pick, and not all top picks pan out, I think they suspect he's hitting a little bit better than .210 in his career with a lifetime OBP in the show of .281. And Cruz smashes that up to middle to Edwards, who flips it to Lopez, and the turn at first not in time. It nearly knocked Gusto's head off his shoulders. It was hit so hard that Ruiz barely moved from first, and very early on, this is our Mazda defensive play of the game.
Well, I tell you, it certainly is. If not for the speed of Cruz, it's a double play. Great flip and a strong throw by Otto, but Cruz just beat the throw up the line. Good job by Xavier, who made that look so easy, and it really isn't. There's the ball screaming over the head of Gusto. Wow.
Here's Nasim Nunez, and credit Blake Butler's infield alignment. They had Cruz played perfectly. First pitch, a fastball, a called strike on Nunez, but a challenge coming here. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Let's see if the Nationals are about to lose an early challenge, and they are.
It's always one of those challenges you wonder why a hitter makes. It's kind of a reaction thing, because the situation of the game really doesn't demand a challenge there.
I may be able to offer you a bit of an explanation. Whether it's right or wrong, I think when guys are struggling, they can get a little selfish with those challenges. And Nasim Nunez is a guy who is just 7 for his last 66 at the plate, probably trying to find it a little bit. And of course, when you're going poorly, it always feels like you find yourself behind in the counts. And he is here. It's 0-2 on Nasim.
That's a good point. When you're going poorly, you're not seeing the ball well, and when you're not seeing the ball well, how can you challenge a pitch that's a strike or a ball?
That's a very fair point. Ground ball left side. Lopez. Edwards. That's on the transfer. And there's 2 out. Oh, now's the perfect time to tune in with Marlins.tv. Stream every Marlins game this season for a new lower price of $34.99. Subscribe today by visiting Marlins.tv. And if you're not watching, all we ask is that you show up to the ballpark. Nice to see some folks show up on a Friday night. Whoa. Love that look. Teal bucket hat with the shades on. Here is Jacob Young, the Marlins killer. And there's been plenty of those guys over the years. I don't think many would suspect Jacob Young would be that guy. But in 32 games in his life against the Marlins, he's hitting .357.
Yeah, you might not put him in the Chipper Jones, Freddie Freeman category. Not quite the level of a Ronald Acuna Jr., but certainly a tough out for the Marlins.
Oh, you're not kidding. And even with 2 outs, by the way, Gusto keeping a very close eye on Nunez at first, who has a big lead. He's not going, and Young takes a called strike.
Yeah, we got the 2 teams that steal the most bases. Marlins are number 2, Nationals are number 1, and Nunez himself has stolen 40. Nationals have stolen 136, and the Marlins 130.
In this season series, the Marlins have swiped 12 bags off the Nationals. The Nationals, on the other hand, have only stolen 3 times against Miami. Nunez not going, and the 0-2 is flown in the air. That's hit pretty well to center field. Marcy racing back onto the warning track. Does he have room? Yes, he does. Right in front of that 400-foot sign to retire the side here in the second. Young gave it a ride, but he didn't hit it hard enough.
Summer sale ends.
Friday Night Baseball on Marlins TV is powered by Major League Baseball. No score, bottom 2 as we go downstairs and say hello to the 3rd member of our crew, Kelly Sacco.
Hey guys, while chatting with Marlins hitting coach Pedro Guerrero earlier today, he told me this is what his hitters can expect to see against the Lord. He said he's a guy who covers both sides of the plate with his 5-pitch mix. He goes in on the righties, that forcing sinker and the change, and away from the righties on the slider and the sweeper. He said Lord has that slow, big leg kick, but a really quick delivery. It makes him very deceiving, and he gets on hitters fast. Pedro said in order for his hitters to find success, they need to pick one side of the plate and commit to it. Tommy, I know it's early, but what have you seen?
Yeah, that was, I saw what you talked about. He jammed Otto Lopez, the way he works the inner part of the plate, then goes away with the sweeper, the slider. So he really got that pitch in on Otto.
Here is Heriberto Hernandez with nobody on and 1 out. He flies this fastball high in the air, left side of the infield for Nunez, who makes the catch. There's 2 out. Let's take a look at Mr. Lord's arsenal here. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. It's a pretty steady 5-pitch mix he's got going.
Yeah, it is, and we've seen a little bit of everything so far early in the game. The 4-seamers, the sinker, and the slider, sweeper, and changeup. Changeup he'll use the least, but he works the 4-seamer and the sinker, works those 2 pitches in and out very well.
Well, he's got 2 pitches on 2 outs here in the second. I'd bet my bottom dollar Joe Mack is not swinging. Joe hitting .236 with 12 homers, 36 runs batted in. He's had some success against these Nationals in his rookie season. Batting .316 with a homer, 5 RBIs over 6 games. Back in the day, and I think it would still apply, if a pitcher got two outs on 2 pitches, the next guy, if he swung, it could be finable, huh? You'd fine for those things.
Yeah, Joe was part of that back-to-back home run trio in Washington with Heriberto and Otto.
That was Joe's first ever homer. And he cracks one towards first. Ortiz picks it up, flips it to Lord, covering 6 pitches, 3 outs, and the side is retired.
/PR.
Well, top of the 3rd, no score. Scoreboard brought to you by Werner Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia. Harry Potter fans, also commonly known as Potterheads, and there's plenty of them in the building tonight, Hud.
Yeah, there are. There are. Not up in the booth, but there are in the building.
Speak for yourself. Oh, there's a wand.
I kind of was more into the parrot heads.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
I like that. Need to cast a spell or two on these Nationals these next 3 days. You know what? We were talking about this before the game. This does feel like a ripe opportunity, though. Again, this is a Nationals ball club struggling without their 2 stars. You're going to face them 7 times in the next 10 games. The Marlins need to take advantage of this opportunity if they're going to stick around here in the wild card picture. Top of the order due up. It's Dalen Lyle who fouls that off. He led off the first with a single to center.
Yeah, we talk about it so often during the course of the full season, 162 games. It's when you play teams. Sometimes you hook up with teams and they're hot, but James Wood with 100 runs scored, 30 home runs. He's out of the lineup.
Yeah.
C.J. Abrams, 29 home runs, 91 RBIs. He is out of the lineup. So, yep, it's time to take advantage.
Just 34 games remaining in the 2026 championship season for both these teams. Marlins returning home for a 6-pack on the homestand against the Nationals and the Red Sox. That is yanked foul off the netting of that first base dugout. Got on those boys in a hurry. Love Players Weekend. Ryan Gusto, his interests, reading and chess. Off the fists and in the air to short. Lopez has got it. There's one away. Let's pause and get you a message from FPL.
At FPL, our teams are working every day because reliability isn't an option, it's a commitment. FPL, working for you every single day.
By the way, that was a terrific pitch to tie up Lyle the way he did and jam him, get that weak pop fly.
Now, we haven't talked much about Ryan Gusto's story this season as Bebas takes downstairs. I find his story to be incredible, Hutton, that nobody has chased this dream harder. This is a kid cut from his high school team multiple times. Quote, the coach told him to his face he couldn't get outs against the worst team in his conference in high school, which is unbelievable. He and his dad, after high school, they were researching junior colleges in Florida. They came across the bio of Ben Bajir, who's at Broward College here in Fort Lauderdale, and Gusto pestered him on a recruiting app. That's his words. He wouldn't leave him alone. And then he came to Florida for a workout. He committed on the spot. And when he committed to college, he was a two-way player throwing 84 miles an hour.
Well, you talk about perseverance, and here he is starting in the major leagues. 12th start this year for Gusto.
1-2 misses outside. Now, you want to talk about a guy that's cerebral?
Well,
the Astros.
He reads and plays chess. So
this stunned me, and I cannot imagine there's many prep or college players that learn about the business side of the game like Gusto did. That's chop foul. When the Astros drafted him, they offered him $125,000 signing bonus, but he had another idea. He'd been keeping track with pencil and paper of how much money the Astros had been spending from their bonus pool from the top 10 rounds. He told the Astros he wanted the remainder of their bonus pool money, $421,000. He was initially offered $125,000. And he said, Hut, I knew exactly how much they could give me versus compared to what they were offering. When they called and gave me an offer, I said, no, you can give me more. And ultimately, the Astros obliged. How many prepper college players know the business side of the game like that?
Yeah, and can throw a changeup like that to pick up a strikeout. Good pitch. Yeah, don't mess with the guys who study things a lot.
He said when he presented that to the Astros, they didn't like it. Almost as if they had gotten caught a little bit, and they gave in. He made himself an extra $300,000 coming out of college. It's pretty cool.
And I have the feeling it was invested wisely.
I think you're right. Sweeper popped in the air by Chaparro. That'll reach the seats and go out of play.
Well, you love the guys and the stories that you just told. You love those stories of perseverance, because it isn't all that easy as it is for some guys.
I hear you.
It's a little easier.
That is lined over the head of Otto Lopez out into left center for Chaparro, and the Nationals have their third hit of the night.
I think the average fan sees a major league game, doesn't have a chance maybe to go see A-ball players or AA players, and trust me, you'll see a difference when you watch those kids play.
Sure.
And not that many kids off those A-ball rosters get here. So it's a matter of adjusting. It's a matter of perseverance.
Here's a painful one for Gusto's major league debut. I don't know if we've talked about this before. Did you know he was supposed to debut on closing day of 2024, but it rained? The game got suspended, and he didn't get to debut until the following year. He had to wait 6 more months to make his debut. He was supposed to make his major league debut on closing day of 2024, and the game got rained out. It's crazy.
I wonder if they called it earlier, if he'd been warming up in the bullpen.
No, I don't know. I'd have to go check. Here is Abimelec Ortiz, who's the number 19 prospect in the national system. He was a part of that off-season deal that sent Mackenzie Gore to Texas, where the Nationals just came from. He waits on an 0-2, and he fouls it off. Pretty sturdy-looking young man here. Got a nice broad set of shoulders on him, pretty thick. Got the baby blue sleeves on. Look at Joe's catching gear. Love that. It's pretty sweet.
Almost looks like it's could be out of Star Wars.
You might not believe this, but I think Kelly might even have more on Joe's gear.
Of course she does.
Of course I do.
Of course she
Kyle.
does.
Come on. So Joe's gear is meant to represent a truck. You might recognize the Mack Truck Company. So that's what the play on his last name. So Mack Truck. So it's supposed to look like those big 18-wheelers, guys. So how cool is that?
Now, Kelly, can I ask you
that is
something
cool.
else?
Go ahead.
The bat he brought to the plate, is there any Buffalo Bills blue into that, or am I reading that wrong?
Yeah, I didn't ask him specifically, but what I noticed, because I did have a chance to play with the bat. Look how cool this is, guys. It's got his name. You know, we've got the
look at the helmet.
The helmet. It's got the city skyline in there. Of course, we've got the City
trucker's
Connect.
cap.
Isn't that so cool? Isn't that great?
That's
You see
great.
Trucker's hat. It's awesome. Really well thought out. His bat, what's really cool when you move it, it's like it looks like metallic, so it changes from blue to purple.
Now there is strike 3 called, but we got a challenge coming here. Well, this is a risky challenge. If the Nationals lose this one, they are done. ABS powered by T-Mobile, but that did indeed miss outside.
At this stage of the game, you really have to be sure making a challenge.
And And a quick throw to first. You know who would love Players Weekend, and I'm sure is loving it? Clayton's family. His kids go nuts over all the gear. His incredible wife Jill's probably got them all decked out.
Well, they're back in school now, so
they could be down here though. It's a Friday night. It's a long
Friday
weekend.
night, they could be here. They could be watching,
hanging out with Dad.
Yeah. I'm thinking they're down here.
I think they might be.
Yeah.
Cool patches on the hats. Kind of blend in seamlessly with the Marlins City Connect lids. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count on Ortiz. No score here in the third. Runner at first with 2 outs. Next offering to Ortiz will be the 9th from Gusto, who steps off the mound. That's the second disengagement. I don't know if Chaparro would be running. He has not stolen a base this season. And Ortiz waits on another 2-2.
You know, because of Ryan Gusto's perseverance, the way he has worked to get himself here, you'd also like to see him pick up his first win as a Marlin. Now he's won 7 games, all of those when he was with Houston.
Nobody in the league is winless in more starts than Gusto this year. As he strikes out Ortiz, maybe. Pitch was called the ball, and Joe Mack will challenge this one.
Joe Mack put the challenge on as he popped up and was headed to the dugout.
Oh.
Pitch is a ball. Miami.
That was the 10th pitch to Ortiz. It misses by 0.2 of an inch. And now both teams down to 1 challenge. We're still early in game 1 of this series. Ortiz making Gusto work. Well, the runner takes off, and the 3-2 is hit in the air to center. Ryan Gusto is going to win this battle against Abimelec Ortiz, and we're still scoreless.
Anyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, another big late season series for the Marlins, trying to take advantage of the Washington Nationals. And we're scoreless as we go to the bottom of the third on Harry Potter night. And Augustine Ramirez going to lead things off. Scoreboard brought to you by Werner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia. Marlins still looking for their first hit. Facing Brad Lord, who's recorded 6 outs on 19 pitches. That is what we call efficiency, as Ramirez takes a called strike. Augustine Hutt's been pretty good, hitting .290 in 12 games since his return. What's been most encouraging, a lot of balls on a line to the opposite field with authority, but he rolls this fastball over to Nunez at short. Throw to first in time. There's 1 away. Let's get you a quick word from Doral Kia.
Take advantage of a pricito now on all of your favorite new Kia models. Like a new Kia K5, Sportage, Sorento, Soul, and more.
What is Lord doing to frustrate these Marlins?
He's moving the ball in and out. I mean, you see he's not overpowering. He's not 98, but you see his pitches. That first pitch to Gus was on the inner parts. He tries to work in. He just missed there. Then he'll go away a little bit.
So Will Dion loosening in the bullpen. It's probably a balancing act here for Blake Butera, but Lord has thrown 23 pitches. He is not yet allowed a hit. It's almost like going by the script here, but you have to wonder too, the way Lord's pitching, if he'd like to deviate a little bit, leave him out there a little bit longer. Ouch. Marlins have their second base runner, a 1-out hit by pitch.
And I think that's one of the things that frustrates people about the game nowadays. Sometimes it's too much scripted as compared to off the cuff, from the heart, what the gut tells you.
Got to be feeling okay. He's pitching pretty darn well. There's Blake Butera. Here's Jacob Marcy. So this is now Lord embarking on his second time through the order. You know, Lord in his last outing threw 44 pitches. Before that, 51. He's only thrown 25. Marcy 0 for 1, flew out in the first. Jimenez at first. Weak swing and miss, fooled him with a sweeper.
Boy, that sweeper just tied him up.
We showed his arsenal. I mean, it feels like he's in, out, he's up and down. He's using 4 to 5 pitches rather nicely. Shoot, if the Marlins can knock him out of the game without doing any type of damage, they'll probably chalk that up as a win. Jacob Marcy is 0 for 13 after an 11 for 30 stretch at the plate.
The other thing he has shown is that he's not afraid to pitch inside.
Well, .26 years old out of Tallahassee. Guess the Seminoles didn't want him. Comes inside, that misses. 2-1 on Jacob. Batting out of that leadoff spot again. He's done plenty of it this season, but when things were not going well, Marlins started to bury him in the bottom of the order. And now he's back up top. And he waits on a 3-1. And slaps it foul. Count full.
See if the runner goes 3-2 with 1 out. See if Jimenez is moving on this 3-2 pitch.
Would you be making
Yeah.
a move? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You trust Marcy to put the ball in play?
Put a few things in action. Get things going.
And there's his contact percentage, over 123 games, a little above 80%. So putting the ball in play 8 out of every 10 times.
Plus, he has a good enough eye, Jacob Marcy does, to take a pitch if it's not in the strike zone, because a lot of hitters, if they see that runner on the move, they'll go out of the strike zone sometime.
He's in the 80th percentile in whiff percentage, meaning he just doesn't swing and miss a whole lot. You have to trust him to put the ball in play. There goes the runner, and the 3-2 is bounced just foul.
And this is where, as a runner, you can't play this as a straight steal. You have to kind of look over your shoulder and pick up the hitter to try to pick up where the ball might be if it's hit.
Game 2 tomorrow, airtime 3:45, Dominican Heritage Night. Yuri's on the mound. Buckle up. And there's ball 4. And the Marlins have 2 on with 1 out. Well, after this series, the Red Sox are coming to town. Enjoy the hottest deals in South Florida, like the 4 for $44 offer presented by Pepsi, and score 4 tickets plus hot dogs, popcorn, and drinks for only $44. Get your tickets at marlins.com/tickets. They actually challenged that ball 4 call on Jacob Marcy, and it was a strike. So Marcy will have to go back to the batter's box, and they do send Leo Jimenez back to first. This is the pitch that was called the ball. That's heads-up catching by Keibert Ruiz, all in one motion to know, hey, I got to challenge it.
Yeah, and he did so after he threw the ball to second base.
Oh, that was so Marcy strikes out. There's 2 out.
Yeah, that was strike 3.
And now Butera goes to the mound, and he's going to take the baseball from Lord. So we'll step aside, and Dion's coming in when we return.
Find yours.
Well, back here in Miami, scoreless bottom of the 3rd. Marlins have a runner at first with 2 outs after the overturn and strike 3 called on Jacob Marcy. And now Owen Casey will bat, and he will go opposite of the lefty that the Nationals are very excited about. Will Dion, 26-year-old out of Sulphur, Louisiana, was traded by the Guardians along with Josh Hartle and a couple of minor leaguers to the Nationals for Foster Griffin, who's having a great year. And this kid, he's small in stature, but he catapults it right over the top, and they say he's been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's a different delivery. You're not used to that right over the top. He's not overpowering. The fastball's in the low 90s.
So lefty-lefty matchup. I'll tell you what, Brad Lord looked outstanding, and maybe this is the break the Marlins need early in this game to get the offense going. Whew, filthy changeup. That's his signature pitch, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, he's got the 4-seamer, the change, and the curve. He will mix in a cutter and a sinker, but Four-seamer changeup, and when he comes over the top the way he does, that changeup's nasty. Went back to back with the changeup, kind of separates. You could actually see the grip if you could picture that, the way he separates the hand out of the glove. I don't know if you could pick that up in enough time.
That is ripped up the middle and a base hit for Casey. Motoring towards third, Jimenez. Young will play it into second. Marlins with an opportunity to score first. They've got him on the corners with 2 out.
That's one of the things I was talking to Owen Casey today about how he feels about his swing. He's been struggling somewhat, but he said he just wants to be ready for fastballs, have good swings at some fastballs. He got a fastball there. Good swing. Chasing Jimenez over to third.
Let's see here if the Marlins can get to this Nationals bullpen that has struggled this season. Here is Griffin Conine.
Now the bullpen lately has been better, but overall the 4th highest ERA in the league.
Let's take a look at our Blue Moon bright spot with Griffin Conine at the plate. Look at the major league ranks since July 9th. 1st in slugging, 2nd in OPS, 3rd in homers, 4th in hard hit percentage. Marlins could use a hard hit ball right here.
Yeah, the Nationals bullpen's allowed the most home runs of any team, 87. But as I mentioned, last 14 games, their bullpen ERA has been 2.75, so they've been a little bit better.
Bit better. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Marlins strand a pair here in the third, still scoreless in Miami as we go to the 4th.
Favorite pizza chain.
Well, FPL brings you your 4th inning scoreboard. We are scoreless in game 1 of this 3-game weekend series as we take a look at our youth player of the ball game tonight. Drum roll, please. Will. Little Will. Plays for the PLO Bulldogs in the Pembroke Lakes Little League as Brady House rounds one up the middle for a base hit to begin the 4th. Will loves his basketball. Cross country, that makes one of us, in skiing. And his favorite Marlin. It's a good one to pick. Xavier Edwards and Will, when he grows up, he either wants to play in Major League Baseball or go to the NBA. So just flip a coin, Will.
Either
Whatever.
Either or. You're a cross country skier.
I think he enjoys running cross country and then also skiing.
And also skiing. Okay.
No, I'm not a cross country. Do I profile as a cross country skier too?
No, not at all.
Here's Caber Ruiz, and that's lined softly out to second. I thought for a second Edwards, and I think he wanted to, was going to play it on a hop to erase a little bit more speed on the base pass.
You know why he decided not to, though?
Why is that?
Yeah, I know what he was thinking, because Ruiz would have been the base runner. This ball was hit off the hands and had some funny spin. And if he lets that ball drop and hit the dirt, you're not sure which way it's going to go.
You know what's amazing about that to me? And his baseball acumen is off the charts. That he's wired in a way to decipher all of that in a split second. Bouncing ball through the left side to base hit for Dylan Cruz. That's the 5th hit for the Nationals. They've got the leadoff man on base for the 3rd time in 4 innings. Ryan Gusto has been playing with a little bit of fire, but every time one starts, he's been able to extinguish it.
Yeah, and you think about it, a couple of ground ball base hits, a little bit more toward Jimenez, and that's 5-4-3 double play, but the ball found the hole.
And here's Nunez. That misses low and in. There's a light hitting shortstop here for the Nationals. Nunez 0 for 1 tonight. Now 7 for his last 67 at the plate. It's over a 20-game stretch, but Jimenez trying to guard against a bunt at third as Nunez bounces one to second. Edwards to Lopez. Throw to first, not in time. Smart play by Conine to come off the bag just to get the second out. And here we are again. Ryan Gusto has an opportunity to get out of this thing.
Yeah, that's where you have to be careful if you're Otto Lopez here, because this is not going to be a double play ball, even though he releases the throw. And you're exactly right about Griffin Conine. mentioned making his 7th start as a first baseman, but the knowledge right there to come off the bag, get the throw, don't have an out at first. Make sure I get the throw.
Well, here is Jacob Young, who hit a 400-foot fly ball to center field back in the 2nd. Infield back, they play him to pull, and a well-executed sweeper's on the inside corner for called strike 1. So not only does Young hit the Marlins well, he's been hitting well of late, period, hitting .385 over his last 12 games. It's your infield defensive alignment. There goes the runner. They're going to throw down to third. And back in, standing up safely, is House. Mack knew he had no chance to get Nunez, who just stole his 41st base of the season.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. The Nationals leading the major leagues. That's their 137th stolen base.
So 2 in scoring position with 2 out. And a 1-1. It is flown in the air towards right center. Marcy's underneath it. And the Nationals leave a pair in scoring position.
The no score from Lone Depot Park. Xavier Edwards leading it off for the Marlins here in the bottom of the 4th. He's looking to extend his on-base streak to... No score from Lone Depot Park. Xavier Edwards leading it off for the Marlins here in the bottom of the 4th. He's looking to extend his on-base streak to 12. He's reached base consistently. That's what he does, as we can see from our Toyota Trend X. Second to just Kevin McGonigal on most games reaching base safely this season. He pops out there for the first out here in the bottom of the 4th. But guys, after going through a little slump, he's really turned things around as of late, riding a 6-game hit streak with 3 multi-hit games. Pedro Guerrero said X is doing a much better job controlling the zone, slowing things down, staying back on pitches, and taking what pitchers give him. 0 for 2 here tonight, guys, but still some time.
Yeah, working on a 6-game hitting streak, and that's exactly right. When he gets himself out of whack a little bit, he starts chasing, and when he stays in the zone, he's a much better hitter, and he's learned to do that and adjust much quicker, I think, over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think too, Hud, if the Marlins are going to have a fun finish to this summer, they need Lopez and Edwards to get going again at the same time. You know, it's hard to put all of that on a couple of guys' shoulders, but they really need these 2 guys to get going. X is doing his part right now. Let's see if they can get Otto going. It's pretty amazing. Over his last 21 games coming into tonight, Otto a 198 hitter. So let's see if he can get hot here in the final 34 games of the season.
I'm going to take it what Pedro Guerrero told me. Last 4 games, a little better. 286. The fingers starting to feel a little better.
Good.
And Pedro Guerrero thought that he made some adjustments when that finger was a little sore, and that might have thrown him off a little.
That's a bad challenge shot by Keibert Ruiz. Oof. He thought that pitch was a strike, and the Nationals are without challenges the rest of the game. So 2 balls, 1 strike to count on Otto Lopez, who waits for the offering from Dion, and that misses high for ball 3.
So I know you and I talked about it. You talked about it with Gabby on the road, that there might have been a possibility of that finger being a little problem. Otto's not going to complain.
No.
He's going to play, but he probably tried to make a few adjustments because of that. It's amazing how something little can throw you off.
We admire all the hard work Otto's put into this. He's got a sweet bat going this evening. Like lightning bolts or something. Love that. Well, he was out in front of that changeup, and he flies it into shallow left for Lyle, and there's 2 away. Join us for a Sandy celebration tomorrow at 4:10. Celebrate our Cy Young Award winner and franchise strikeout leader with a special ceremony during the game. Plus, the first 10,000 fans at the ballpark are going to take home an exclusive Sandy Alcantara commemorative card. Get your tickets at marlins.com/tickets. Be a nice little giveaway.
Some of those cards I've found out that fans won't know at the time they get it. Some of those cards will be signed.
Oh, really?
Sandy has signed some. Yeah.
That's very kind.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sandy, if things line up, we got ourselves one whale of a matchup on Tuesday here. Alcantara versus Peyton Tolley. who's just an incredible story and a ton of fun to watch for Boston. If you've gotten a chance, or if you haven't, you're going to get that opportunity.
I think the Marlins see Ranger Suarez in the first game of that series,
who should go opposite of Tyler Phillips, who's coming off his outing in Philadelphia where he worked out of the bullpen. But Phillips going to go back into the rotation as Hernandez swings and misses. And well, because Ryan Gusto pitching here tonight, he'll bookend this homestand. And again, if things hold, he'll go opposite of Sonny Gray next Wednesday. Should be fun. Red Sox coming to town. That's what makes the balanced schedule so great. You see everybody. 2 balls, 1 strike to count on Hernandez. Dion is picking the Marlins apart, and he fires a fastball in there for strike 2.
Yeah, it's interesting. You see the velocity, low 90s, but he kind of jumps off the mound at you, over the top, hides the ball well, and has that excellent changeup.
Born in Sulphur, Louisiana, he went to McNeese State. Now, if you're from Louisiana in the deep south, they would say you went to McNeese State.
McNeese,
yeah. 3-2. Chopper left side. Nunez, Ortiz, side retired here in the 4th. Well, moving right along here in Miami tonight, top of the 5th inning. Scoreboard brought to you by Werner, Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia. Ryan Gusto played with fire all night long, but he held the Nationals scoreless, and well, Ryan Gusto's night is over. And the 24-year-old hard-throwing right-hander out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, Josh Eknes, is coming on to pitch for the 13th time in the major leagues. Nice ERA, $1.42. Would be even lower.
It's the lowest out of that Marlins bullpen. But last 3 outings for Eknes, done a good job. Couple of appearances in Cincinnati. 1 2/3 innings in Philly.
So 10 of his 12 major league appearances have been scoreless. He's never allowed more than 1 run in an outing, as he throws that right through the front door of Dalen Lyle. And Clayton McCullough chatting with Ryan Gusto, who's been fiery at times this season. I'm sure he would have loved to keep on going, but Clayton explaining the situation and just, they're having a good laugh. Nice night, though. 4 shutout innings.
Well, what did we say earlier about Ryan Gusto when he takes the mound? Seems like every time he goes out there, he gives the ball club a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ask.
Absolutely. So our starters are done. Lord went 2 2/3. Gusto goes 4. Still scoreless. Lyle batting for the 3rd time. And 1-2 coming back our way. Downstairs off to the left. Make sure you hang around for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Celsius Energy Drinks. Look at that little man on Harry Potter night. 1-2. Feels like a lot of foul balls here. Marlins have 1 strikeout, 2 strikeouts. The Nationals do not go quietly. And this will be the 6th pitch from Eknes to Lyle. And he laid off a sinker at 99 miles an hour.
That's pretty good stuff. 2-seam sinker at 99.
And a line drive base hit. This is the 4th time in 5 innings the Nationals have the leadoff man aboard. Well, make sure you come out to the ballpark tomorrow for Dominican Heritage Night. It's a big celebration brought to you by DR Tourism and Aerojet. Marlins and the Nationals take home an exclusive jersey with your ticket package. Get your tickets at marlins.com/DR. So don't get too rowdy downtown tonight, because this place will be bumping tomorrow. There'll be a party in here.
And you mentioned it, Yuri Perez on the mound. Dominican Heritage Night.
Big crowd expected. Here is Jorbit Bibas after the leadoff single by Lyle. Eknes fires a curveball that misses, but Joe Mack says, hold on a minute, I'm not sure it did. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Let's see if Joe Mack, who's been brilliant behind the dish, challenging all year, can get another one right this time.
And yes, he did. You have to wonder if the Nationals, who did pick up a stolen base back in the 4th inning, if they might start running a little bit more with getting men on base, and so far not being able to produce a run.
Well, if you're going to run on Joe Mack, you better be darn certain you're going to make it, because he's thrown out nearly half the runners this year. He's caught 19, allowed 42. Yeah, 15 foul balls off Ryan Gusto, so they made him work. Nationals probably getting frustrated because they continue to get the leadoff man aboard. Fly ball down the left field line, foul into the seats.
Another foul ball.
Another foul ball. A lot of souvenirs. Jerry Berto, look at those spikes he's got on. Look at those things, huh? Stop, young man. Stop.
Get that.
These guys. That's awesome. Another fly ball. This one might stay in play for Heriberto in foul territory. Makes the catch. Lyle bluffs a tag at first. Eknes has his first out of the 5th.
Yeah, those spikes took him over to the line to put away that lazy fly ball. You know, one thing as an outfielder, as you're going over to get that ball, in your head, you know there's a runner at first. He might be tagging up. You can't look. You got to look at the ball. So he came up, did what you're supposed to do, made a strong throw back to the infield to keep Lyle at first base.
Swing and a miss by Andres Chaparro. 6 hits for the Nationals tonight. But when somebody gets on base, they run into issues. They're 1 for 12 with men on base this evening. Chaparro waits on an 0-1. Ooh. 98-mile-an-hour sinker. He just blinked and it was right by him.
That's the one thing, among others, that lights up the front office and Clayton and his staff about Eknes. The way he can light that radar gun up.
0-2. Eknes is a great example of, managers and coaches and front office staff members are like, the only thing we tell our guys is if you get an opportunity, make the most of it. I just want him to walk out through the doors when you say that. Like, this is your living proof. This is an example of a guy that's making the most of his opportunities. Nationals making him work hard here in the 5th. 0-2. Missed outside.
Well, he's a big guy. He's an imposing figure out there on the mound. And you top that with the stuff that he has.
Runner goes. Bouncing ball foul. 6'4", 225. What kind of interest does Josh Eknes have?
I'm not even going to ask you.
I've never seen Star Wars.
If you saw Napoleon Dynamite, if you never saw Star Wars,
that was the goofy guy with the curly hair, right? I've seen pictures of him. I've seen pictures of him.
High school buddy Pedro.
Another 1-2 pitch coming. And that one's popped up. That's a mile high into shallow center for Marcy, who makes the catch.
Once again, the Nationals get a leadoff base runner and then a couple of fly ball outs.
I do like the idea, Hut, in retirement. Nice round of golf on a Tuesday afternoon. You come home and just flip on Napoleon Dynamite. Is that your viewing interest of choice?
If it's on, I'm going to watch a little bit of it. Yeah, because just a few chuckles. Don't give me the clicker that I can go through the movie channels.
Really?
Yeah, I'll pick up something I've seen.
By the way, big day Sunday. I hope folks come out and support you and celebrate you.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Nice if a few folks come out.
Just a few. Tommy Hunting Day at the ballpark. Family's going to be out. Granddaughter's throwing out the first pitch. No balls to strike the count on Ortiz, who flies this out towards left center. Hernandez calling off Marcy, makes the catch. And once again, the Nationals strand the leadoff runner. The bottom of the 5th inning, Marlins baseball is powered by Major League Baseball. No score. Nationals out hitting the Marlins 6-1. They've got the leadoff man on base in 4 of the first 5 times that they've come to the plate tonight. They still have absolutely nothing to show for it. See if the Marlins can show a little something at the dish here in the 5th. We're halfway home. Bottom third due up. Mac Ramirez Jimenez. And Mac flies the first one high in the air out near the pitcher's mound. The captain of the infield defense, Nunez, is there.
And the Marlins have yet to get the leadoff man on through the first 5 innings.
There's Nassim. Dominican Heritage celebration tomorrow. Showtime 3:45. First pitch at 4:10. Yuri Perez on the mound. Set to make his 23rd start of the season, his 7th against the Nationals. So, well, Will Dion, at least from what we were told, is kind of living up to the billing here. This diminutive left-hander at 5 feet 10 inches tall, just carving up this Marlins offense. Probably frustrating. He's small, he doesn't throw hard, and he just gets outs, which will probably drive you nuts, I would imagine.
Drive you crazy, and it'll just show that there are guys who don't throw 98 that can get outs. But a lot of it has to do with his delivery and the quality of his changeup. Like that.
And Ramirez out in front of a changeup.
It's almost guys like him, when you're at the plate, they almost look like they're jumping at you.
Really?
And then they throw that changeup, and you're out in front of it.
I guess Lincecum was that way a little bit.
Yeah, Lincecum threw harder, though.
Marlins have won 5 of the 6 meetings against the Nationals this season, and they're out slugging them big time. And Ramirez strikes out on a fastball.
Yeah, the Marlins in the series against the Nationals have scored 5.5 runs a game. So they've put up some offense. They've out-homered the Nationals.
And here's Leo Jimenez, who was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd.
You know what? You out-homer, you out-pitch, and you outscore. That's usually going to help you win 5 out of 6.
Yeah, you're right.
See, and after the changeup, the 90, 91, 92 mile an hour fastball looks like it's 98.
Swing and a miss. Boy, this kid is carving them up. 5 in the books here at Lone Depot Park, still scoreless.
Welcome back. It's our Ocean Bank Minor League Report. That right there, Iva Arquette's 9th home run in 33 games with the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. As we take a look now at our Ocean Bank Minor League Report, it highlights not just Arquette, but the whole Marlins farm system. And that is because for the first time since 2022, for MLB Pipeline, the Marlins had the 10th best farm system in Major League Baseball. You see all the names right there. They've got 3 arms. I mentioned Arquette. Lombard was their #1 pick out of Gulliver Prep here in Miami. Homered on his very first, second, that is, Major League or Minor League at bat, guys. They have been so good. I know Cam Cannarella has been fantastic, started in High A. All this made its way all the way up to AAA. So a lot to be excited excited about if you're a Marlins fan.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much. I would agree with you there. First time in a long time there's some real depth, and it's layered throughout the organization, so it'll push guys, which is always great.
Yeah, and you like the fact, Kyle, that some of that depth is positional, some position players. The Marlins over the years have always had a great crop of pitchers coming up, and they still do. But it's nice to see that some of the guys that we're talking about are position players.
Brady House leading off the inning, facing Tyler Zuber, and he cracks one up the middle on a couple of hops for Lopez, who gets rid of it quickly and throws him out. And there's one away.
So one thing with the pitching setup the way it is tonight, with Ryan Gusto going the 4, and one thing Clayton McCullough has, he has the fact that yesterday was an off day. So it's a fresh bullpen. So you got a good inning out of Eknes, and now it's up to Tyler Zuber,
who has not allowed a run, or I should say an earned run, in a month. That's how good he's been. Over his last 11 appearances, Zuber has not allowed an earned run. In fact, he's only allowed 1 run that was unearned. He's been perfect here in August, just a couple of walks, 8 strikeouts. And Ruiz hits one in the air deep to right field, and that's going to give the Nationals their first lead of the ball game and the series. It's the first earned run allowed by Tyler Zuber since July 24th. And for Keibert Ruiz, it's his 8th homer this season and the 4th of his career against Miami.
Well, he swept that sweeper right out of here, and there was no doubt Ruiz knew it. It's his second hit. Here comes the sweeper, but it stays middle of the plate. The key for a right-hander throwing that sweeper to a lefty, he wants to bury it down and in, and that had a whole lot of the plate.
So 1-0 Washington. The solo shots won't kill you. Here's Dylan Cruz, who's 1 for 2 in this game.
As guys will say on the bench, had to score 1 anyway. So, okay, 1 run.
You are right about that.
Much better sweeper right there.
It's just the 5th home run surrendered by Zuber this year. Sweeper is hit in the air to center for Marcy, and there's 2 out after the homer. Well, make sure you come out to the ballpark tomorrow at 4:10. Marlins Nationals. Stick around after the game for the Celsius postgame concert series featuring Tonio Rosario live out on the West Plaza. Get those tickets at marlins.com/DR. Tonio Rosario still going strong. 70 years old. Be out there singing and dancing after the game.
I may have to check that one out.
You should. He's a Grammy Award winning artist. Cade Gibson loosening. 1-0 Nationals. 2-0 the count on Nunez.
Yeah, we talked about how the Marlins have outscored, outpitched, everything against the Nationals this year in their 6 games. They have out-homered them. Was 12-3, now 12-4.
There's strike 2, and the Nationals don't have any challenges left. That last offering appeared to be a touch high. I don't know where the Nationals really have gotten themselves into trouble this year. They're 11-27 within the division. Fastball misses high for ball 3. And they're 9 games under 500 at home. and 2 games over 500 on the road. 4-6 against the Mets, 3-8 against the Braves, 3-8 against the Phillies, and 1-5 here against the Marlins.
This is a guy you certainly don't want to walk. 41 stolen bases. Really has struggled at the plate.
Players Weekend. Let's see what Mr. Zuber is into. Likes his video games and likes hunting and golfing. It's a simple man. Line shot out to second. That gets under the glove of Edwards into right. Well, Nunez snaps a 7 for 68. Funk with a base hit right there.
This ball might have been hit harder than Xavier thought. I thought he was going to catch that ball, and it got by him, and it was hit sharply by Nunez.
And now you have to keep him at first. Jacob Young at the plate. He's not waiting long. There he goes. Throw to second, not in time. And Nunez has his 2nd stolen base of the game, his 42nd this season.
Just a tremendous jump. He did take a little peek. Quick pop time release and throw by Joe Mack. Just couldn't get the speedster.
So now Nunez is 7 stolen bases clear of Chandler Simpson and 9 clear of Chisholm and Witt for the league lead.
Is Jazz at 50 now?
33. He's getting there. Strike 1 on Young, who has twice hit the ball hard tonight, but both times in the air to Marcy at center. Three and one. Well, you got the lefty on deck, so there's a real good chance here that this is it for Zuber if he can't get Young and get himself out of the inning. Because Gibson has been loosening, and I'm sure he's just about ready. There's a strike, and Young will have to make a right turn and go back to the plate. That had plenty of the zone. Now, who called for time there? You know, that was very generous to the home plate umpire, Rob Drake, who just got shown up a little bit to give Young time to go back.
By Young going about 1/3 of the way up the line.
I might be clapping my hands and say, let's go, bud. Let's get back in here. Where do you think you're going?
Yeah, it's on your time, not mine.
Wow, so 3-2. Well, it's outside for ball 4. Delayed the inevitable momentarily. Let's see if that'll bring Clayton out of the dugout. It will. So Zuber allows the homer, a single and a walk. Certainly I would imagine he's wishing this would have gone better, but Cade Gibson is going to have to relieve him. Here he comes to face Lyle when we return.
Bonus.
It is a 1-0 Nationals lead here on Harry Potter night at Lone Depot Park. Earlier today, Pete Fairbanks, he sorted his teammates into houses. So, you know, we were not going to give up the opportunity to sort the broadcasters into houses as well. So these are the results. Look at that graphic. This is the first time I'm seeing this too. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I love more. So we've got the majority of which Gryffindors, except for Kyle Seeloff, a Ravenclaw. What a beard. Kyle, you've really grown it out since the last time I saw you pregame.
Oh, thank you, Kelly. Now, if we have a moment.
How come we were all Gryffindors and you were something else?
Because he apparently is the wisest of us all.
Excuse me.
What happened?
Tell me about this Ravenclaw fella.
Okay.
Or he's not a guy, right? It's just a house. It's a home.
It was a woman. Rowena Ravenclaw.
No kidding.
She's the founder of that house, and she wanted the wittiest students, the most book smart students. Those were the ones that she liked to recruit into her house. So it only makes sense that Kyle Seeloff, the wittiest of us all, would end up in Ravenclaw.
Let me Google this. Smart, handsome, leader of men, double steal. Got him. See ya. What are you doing? Awful idea, and the inning is over. Where are you going, Nasim Nunez? You make the last out at third, my friend. No bueno. No, no, no. Well, the Nationals get a run here from the top of the sixth thanks to Keibert Ruiz. Bet Fundy's there. It's 1-0. Marlins baseball is brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito. And by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Beautiful Friday night here in Miami. We're at Lone Depot Park. Nationals lead 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. Scoreboard brought to you by Werner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia. Moments ago, I have no idea what they could have been discussing. The umpires all got together.
And this didn't happen immediately after the inning ended.
Yeah.
It took a while.
Interesting. No defensive changes that I could tell or am aware of. That's our home plate umpire, Rob Drake. And I think maybe Clayton was calling him over almost more so to ask what they were talking about. But let's play on here. Top of the order, Dion facing Marcy. And this young small lefty has been rolling ever since he relieved Brad Lord back in the third. He allowed a single to Casey, and since then he's retired 7 in a row with 3 strikeouts. 2 on the changeup, 1 on the heater. So the Marlins offense needs to get down to business. Ooh. Heck of a throw by Joe Mack. 10 to the top of the 6th. I just don't know where Nasim Nunez was going with 2 out, but hey, Marlins will take it. Maybe another good sign here for the Marlins. Orlando Ribalta, the tall right-hander, is loosening.
So from the 5'10" lefty to the big right-hander.
You know, the fun note on Dion is that when he made his major league debut this season, he debuted against the Washington Nationals, and one of the strikeouts in that ball game, he punched out his battery mate, Keibert Ruiz. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count on Marcy. 0 for 2 out of the leadoff spot. Did line out to left back in the first. And he takes a cutter in the dirt.
Jacob Marcy doing what he does so well. Even though he got behind 0-2, he's gotten the count 2-2. Boy, his last 12 games, on base percentage over 350, hitting over 260.
And a line shot foul. Well, you'd really like to hope down the stretch that this game favors the Marlins. Just taking a look at the surface level numbers, the Nationals pitching staff coming into the night 27th in total team ERA, bullpen ERA with a 4.80 ERA. The Marlins obviously much better. Their team ERA now, by the way, the Marlins coming into the ball game tonight inside the top 10 in baseball. And a 2-2 changeup just missed low. Now the count is full, so just as you were discussing, Marcy battling back.
Yeah, 0-2, gotten it to 3-2.
Nationals have the most blown leads in baseball with 39. Some of them, by the way, more soul-crushing than others. They had the Phillies, I don't know, 2 to 3 times on the ropes this year, and they hit go-ahead 2-out 9th inning homers. When the Nationals were going well this season and they were either above 500 or right around it, it just continued to be the bullpen that let them down. It's been a sore subject in our nation's capital. So pitch number 8 here to Marcy from Dion is high for ball 4. An outstanding plate appearance, and the Marlins have the leadoff man on base for the first time tonight.
And it's great when you get that leadoff guy on and he has some speed. And we're going to see Javi Sanoja, who I know you and I were both surprised wasn't in the lineup. Hottest hitter the Marlins have right now.
Yeah, with the off day yesterday, thought maybe he'd be in there tonight.
Javi with a 4-game hitting streak, hitting .438 with a couple home runs during that time.
You get the lefty on the mound, a lot of speed at first, the hot stick at the plate. A change up and a called strike. So here comes Javi, who was 7 for 20 on the road trip, a double, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, just 3 strikeouts. He was 3 for 3 on Wednesday in Philadelphia. Now tied a career high in homers as he waves and misses at that changeup. Not easy to come off the bench and face this guy in this changeup here.
Sometimes you're better off, trust me, as a pinch hitter, facing a guy who's just throwing nothing but gas. And when he's got the off speed stuff, coming off the bench, it's even tougher.
Marcy at first, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out with the changeup. Well, I'm sure he went up there looking for some gas, and he did not get a single one.
Yeah. Oddly enough, too, there's that changeup. Pinch hitting for Owen Casey, who got the only hit off Dion.
Here is Conine. Now they'll let Conine bat for himself. Throw to first a little low. So Sanoja in, Casey out. Probably fairly easy for Javi to go to third, put Jimenez at first, put Conine in right. Gets underneath that curveball and wastes it into the seats foul.
You could do that, or you could just send Javi out to right.
You could do that too.
So there's some choices that Clayton has.
I wonder what he'll do. Always decisions to be made for managers. Dion's about to throw his 42nd pitch, which is saying something because he entered with 2 outs in the 3rd. Here's his 0-1 offering to Conine. That's a fly ball in the air to right field, pretty deep. Cruz back onto the warning track. Wall leaps and he makes the catch. Back to first goes Marcy. And there's 2 out.
I think from up here we thought that it had a chance. I think if you asked Griffin, he might not have squared that up exactly the way he wanted. He got the changeup, but Cruz was able to get back on that track just as he got to the wall and make the catch. So a good swing by Griffin Conine, but I think if we talked to him, he probably didn't square it up just right.
In fly balls like that is where I find exit velocity most useful. That was 94 off the bat, and it's going to be very difficult to leave the yard.
Yeah.
It would have to be tucked right down a line into a corner.
And Griffin, who's up there amongst the leaders in exit velo.
Yep. Needed a little bit more juice there. So here's Edwards. Marcy still stuck at first after the leadoff walk. Now, here's a question for you. If you've been starved for offense, would you try to take off with 2 outs knowing that Edwards would lead off the 7th just to see if you can manufacture something here?
I would give it a shot. Again, you have to start. You can't just lay back and think you're going to hit a 2-run homer.
And they haven't done that. They know that hasn't been their MO all year.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. So if you're Marcy, you guess and you go on first movement, take a chance that the pitch is to the plate.
His lead is getting bigger. Oh, it's a ball and a strike on X.
And keep in mind, he does throw a lot of changeups, which would give you a fraction of a second, a little bit more getting a jump.
Ouch. Well, Marcy has taken plenty of chances this season because he's been thrown out a ton on the bases. Maybe that's what Clayton and the boys are discussing down there in the dugout. Dion's ERA has tumbled down to 2.84 as he misses outside with a changeup. Lopez on deck again. If he goes and you're thrown out, Worst case scenario is Edwards would lead off the bottom of the 7th. Still a lot of baseball left to be played. Edwards 0 for 2. Line out, fly out. And Edwards will challenge this fastball called a strike. He thinks it's low.
Yeah, I think he thought it was low.
Let's see if it is low. ABS powered by T-Mobile. That is low.
Pitch the ball.
Good challenge. Now it's 3-1. Lord went 2 2/3. Dion's been out there since the 3rd. That's the 2nd disengagement. Now Marcy has seen just about everything that Dion has to offer with that move. See, after 2 disengagements, if Jacob's going to go 3-1, he is not, and Edwards takes strike 2. So now none of that matters because that'll loosen up Marcy at first with a 3-2 count and 2 outs.
Yep, now it's a moot point.
Now, will Ortiz hold Marcy on? He will, so a lot of real estate on that right side of the infield. And Edwards was going to challenge if that was called strike 3.
He was getting ready to, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Could you imagine one day if an umpire was like, well, you challenged it, I have no choice? I guess it doesn't matter. It's still going to call. Even if, wouldn't that be wild if he challenged it? It's just going to come back as you were wrong, but it's still a ball. That would make you melt. Well, here comes Blake Butera. And it looks like Orlando Ribalta, the right-hander, is coming on to replace Dion. When we return, the Marlins have 1st and 2nd with 2 outs. Sano Lopez will be the batter for Miami.
Only in theaters.
And welcome back to Lone Depot Park where the Nationals lead 1-0. We go to the bottom of the 6th on Harry Potter night. And the Cuban right-hander Orlando Ribalta is on to pitch. 12th round pick in 2019 out of Miami-Dade College. He grew up in Miami, went to Miami Christian School.
And we talked about the big guy. 6'7" is Ribalta.
About 9 inches taller than Dion. So here's Lopez, a chance to tie it. Plenty of speed at 2nd with 2 outs on a base hit. And Lopez flies it in the air to right. First pitch swinging, got a slider, and he flies out. The inning is over. So still 1-0 the Nationals as we go to the 7th. Well, top of the 7th inning, Nationals have a 1-0 lead over the Marlins. Let's take a look at our good Greek moving and storage roster move of the day. Logan Driscoll had his contract selected from AAA Jacksonville to clear room on the 40-man roster. Will Kempner sent to the 60-day IL. Graham Pauley optioned to Jacksonville. So for tonight, Marlins are carrying 4 catchers as Dalen Lyle steps in and takes a called strike from Cade Gibson for out number 1. Driscoll acquired earlier in the week from the Rays organization. He had a clause in his contract that basically said at a certain date needed to be added to the active roster. Rays didn't have room. Marlins pick him up, needed to do the same. And well, here we sit. Well, what just happened here to Joe's leg guard? Defensive changes for the Marlins. Sanoja goes to 3rd. Jimenez across the diamond to 1st. Conine shoots from 1st out to right.
Yeah, the Rays already have a couple of Marlins catchers. Nick Fortes, Liam Hicks.
Speaking of catchers, Joe Mack catching Nasim Nunez, stealing 3rd in the 6th. That was notable. Gibson ready with an 0-2, and Lyle strikes out swinging on a really good sweeper, and there's 1 away. So in that 6th inning, Joe Mack became the 4th rookie catcher in the last 10 years to have 10+ homers and 20+ caught stealing in the same season, joining Jorge Alfaro, Austin Wells, and Carlos Narvaez. He's the 6th Marlins catcher to achieve this feat at any point in their career. It's just totally been a godsend since they brought him up behind the plate. Might have broke his bat, and Gibson's got it. He caught that on the line. He picked it off before it touched dirt. 2 away.
He just kind of leaned down, made the pick off his shoe tops.
He's an athletic guy.
Let's see the reactions.
Oh, yeah.
He actually caught it behind him a little bit. And you see, when pitchers do that, then they just casually throw it around the infield. Yeah, it was nothing.
He's very athletic. Bouncing ball hit softly towards third. Sanoja gloves, fires. Got him! What a play, Javi! I didn't think he had time to glove it with the leather. That's our Mass Mutual moment of the ball game. That was a sick play by Javier Sanoja.
Just came into the game too, and the first chance that he gets is above average, and he makes an above average play. Look at the stretch over at first by Jimenez too.
Wow, nicely done. A Gold Glove play for a Gold Glover. 7th inning stretch time here in Miami. It's brought to you by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Job today, of course, still searching for that first win of the season with the Marlins, but he did throw 4 shutout innings today, 62 pitches, 48 strikes, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. So he did his job with a little help for the defense of Jacob Marcy. The only run in tonight's game was off the bat of Kyber Ruiz, who homered off Tyler Zuber. And that's where we stand right now with a 1-0 game here at Lone Depot Park. Still 9 outs for the Marlins to be able to at least tie this game, maybe even push it into extra innings. There's Ruiz's home run, his 8th of the season. So tight game here tonight at Lone Depot. We'll be back to Marlins baseball after a quick word from our friends at Celsius.
Beautiful night here in Miami. Here's your game summary. Nationals leading 1-0. Gusto 4. Lord 2 2/3. Ruiz the difference. Bottom 7. Here comes Heriberto Hernandez facing Orlando Ribalta, who got Otto Lopez the fly out to right with 2 on and 2 out in the last of the 6th. Hernandez 0 for 2 tonight. He's popped out and grounded out. At the career high 18 home runs this season. Heriberto lays off a slider, and he throws many of those.
Yeah, you look at his pitch mix, and a lot of sliders, 4-seamers. He'll mix in some 2-seamers, but he'll throw more sliders than anything else. And so far, the 3 pitches he's thrown since he's come into the game have been sliders.
1-1. Well, let's see if the Marlins can get to this Nationals bullpen. One ball, 2 strikes, the count on Heriberto.
And it's a bullpen, I guess the best way to put it that you can say is gettable. They lead the major leagues in total runs and innings pitched, so it's been busy.
1-2. Missed high. This is a season that Ribalta's put it all together. 3rd major league campaign, 40 appearances, a 3.32 ERA. And he strikes out Hernandez with a good old high country fastball. One away here in the 7th. Let's get you a message from Werner, Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia.
Winning doesn't just happen by accident. At WHG, we know every case is earned before you ever step inside the courtroom. WHG, preparation wins.
So 1 out. Here comes Joe Mack, who popped out to Nunez at short in the 5th and grounded out to Ortiz at first in the 2nd. And he bounces one softly to second for Bibas, who gloves and fires round number 2.
You know, the amazing thing about that stat, the fact that their bullpen leads the major leagues in total runs and innings pitched. You go back to 1901 and only 7 teams have done that. led the league in total runs and bullpen innings.
So you're telling me it's hard to do?
Yeah.
Tom Cosgrove loosening. Lefty out of Staten Island, New York, went to Manhattan University at Jasper. So here's Agustin Ramirez. Marlins looking for, I suppose, at this juncture, a big swing to tie it. That one dusted him off the plate. Maybe that's what's going to take at this juncture, just somebody to unlock this offense. Hit one out of the ballpark. Agustin, obviously a guy that can do it. He's only got the 2 homers this season. And a 1-0. This is outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Jimenez on deck, but it looks like Ruiz is out to the on deck circle to hit. And he is. Got Ruiz, Navarreto, and Driscoll on the bench. Strike 1.
And you're looking at a young guy, strong right-handed hitter, hit 21 last year in his rookie season.
Ribalta works out of the stretch off the first base side of the rubber. Kind of closes himself off. And Ruiz, did he check his swing? He did. So if Ruiz does indeed hit for Jimenez, that would necessitate a new first baseman. But very easy for Conine to go right back to first. And Ruiz would go out to right. Count full on Augustine. 1-0 Washington. Nobody on, 2 out. Bottom 7. Ball 4.
Good take.
Yeah.
Very good take.
We've seen a lot of that since he came back. Like way more patience at the plate.
Yeah,
very
I think
professional ABs.
When we saw him when he was struggling, he would chase that pitch because it was going up there free swinging, not having a good idea, not getting pitches in the zone.
Yeah.
So that was a good take there.
You know, it's interesting, Hut. I thought maybe they would pull Ruiz back, let Jimenez hit, and let Ruiz run. Then you're banking on a stolen base and then Jimenez to get you a hit. And maybe that's just far too much, and Ruiz simply just gives you a better opportunity here to get a big hit, or a hit for that matter. So much to think about when you're managing. Augustine hugging Ortiz. So Ribalta facing Ruiz. Tying run at first, go ahead run at the plate, and a pitch comm issue, I believe. What's going on here? All right, got that sorted out. This is the first time that these two will face one another. Check in on Ramirez.
You would think, and we'll watch him at 6'7", Ribalta might not be that quick to the plate.
Well, Ramirez has been known to swipe a bag once in a while. He gets those big jumpy leads at first. And Esteri takes a sinker for a strike. Well, Ruiz can hit an off-speed pitch. In fact, he's hitting .308 on off-speed pitches this season. He loves to turn on balls as well. He's a little late on that sinker. It's 0-2. And look, the Nationals, knowing that, what do? They come after him with a couple of first pitch sinkers.
Yeah, pounded him with a pretty good fastball.
Quickly, 0-2 on Ruiz, pinch hitting for Jimenez.
Yeah, and I would have to think from what you said about hitting the breaking balls for Ruiz. So I've been sitting up here trying to figure out why he would pinch hit for Jimenez. Get a couple right-handed hitters. Ruiz might have a little more power, but because of that, the hitting of the breaking ball, maybe that's the decision. But with 2 out, I was a little surprised that he pinch hit right here.
And he expands the strike zone, and Rebalta strikes out Ruiz with a changeup. Side retired, inning over, still 1-0 as we go to the 8th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Miami Marlins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins. South Beach is alive. Okay, well, Griff got to go to right and hang out for a couple of outs, and now he goes back to first. Ruiz goes to right. Abimelec Ortiz is facing Cade Gibson. He's been out there since the 6th inning for Miami. And well, I guess no Wood, no Abrams for only the 2nd time this season. No problem. Kinda. Nationals in 16 innings without those two have scored just 1 run, but somehow leading this one 1-0 tonight is.
We forgot to mention another guy they traded away, Luis Garcia Jr. Traded to the Yankees. Garcia had 23 home runs, was having a solid year. So talking about 3 guys that were right in the middle of their lineup in Wood, Abrams, and Garcia.
Garcia's been okay too since going to the Bronx in 14 games, hitting a little over 250 with a couple of homers. 0-2. Misses outside. Gibson's got to keep this a 1-0 game. Top of the order is due up for the Marlins in the bottom of the 8th. Ah, yes, sir.
That froze him.
Wow. Seeing that pitch from up here, that sweeper was behind his rear end, halfway to the plate.
Yeah, he almost like he started the sweeper behind him, and he pretty much did it, and he just froze. Great pitch.
There comes Clayton McCullough, and that'll be all for Cade Gibson. Looks like Calvin Fauché is the next man up and out of the bullpen for Miami. He'll face Brady House and Keibert Ruiz when we return.
Find yours.
And we're back with you at Lone Depot Park. Nationals still leading 1-0 on the strength of 8 hits. We're in the top of the 8th. There is 1 out. Calvin Fauché's coming on to face Brady House. Nice night for a ball game. Always is here in South Florida. You know one thing's for sure. It'll be air conditioned and you know you're gonna play. So here's House, who's 1 for 3. Fauché's first offering, bounding ball up the middle. Who wants it? Lopez does, and his throw to first. Did Conine keep his foot on the bag? He did.
See the numbers on Calvin.
Tastes like money. To Oliver, eating here instead of buying a stadium hot dog is like putting away $20. If Oliver sees sandwiches as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo's right behind him.
The sweeper and the cutter working for him.
And Ruiz pops it up. 2 pitches.
First pitch outs. 2 pitch for 2 outs. Not bad either.
That? Middle of the 8th. Come on.
Pipi lasagna!
Washington here in game 1 this weekend, and the sidewinding lefty Tom Cosgrove is coming on to pitch. 30-year-old out of Staten Island, New York. Padres 12th round pick in 2017 out of Manhattan University in New York City. 14 appearances, no wins, 2 losses, and a 4.15 ERA. Let's see if the Marlins can do something here with the top of the order duo.
Yeah, the one thing the Marlins have seen, you go back to Lord, who started the game, and then Will Dion, the little lefty who had the tremendous changeup, was over the top, jumping at hitters. Then the 6'7" Rebalta coming at you with a lot of sliders. Now they're going to see a lefty that is a little unorthodox with his delivery from the side.
0-1 on Marcy, who could not wait long enough on that sweeper at 74 miles per hour. It just never gets there. And that time he was ready for it and he was out in front of it. Same exact pitch.
And not too many guys, when you look at the breakdown of their pitches, do you see a guy, Pete Fairbanks gets loose. He throws that sweeper almost 2/3 of the time, 66% of the time. And he's thrown 3 straight to Jacob Marcy.
Seems like a very dangerous pitch to throw right-handed hitters. Marcy, line drive, fair ball. He just tucked it inside the line. Down the corner, Marcy at second. He wants 3 and a triple for Jacob Marcy to lead off the 8th. Just what the doctor ordered.
Love watching him run when he knows he's got extra bases. There's a time you don't see guys do it as much when in a game like this you guarded the line for extra bases. But Ortiz a little bit off the line, and Marcy was able to sneak that shot by him. And once it's in the corner, even though it was chased down pretty good by Cruz, Marcy running, there was no doubt he wanted third base all the way.
And here is Javier Sanoja, and the way he's going hot. Who would you rather have at the plate right now to tie this thing than Javier Sanoja? The second hit of the ball game for Miami. It comes here in the 8th, the leadoff triple. Infield defense is in. Well, you can't run yourself into an out here. You got plenty of opportunities to score this run. So
you don't have to go on contact.
Yeah,
here.
You can't do nothing silly on the bases.
Yeah, don't go on contact. Give the next guy a chance.
And look at those numbers with runners in scoring position for Sanoja this season. 42 RBIs. 1-1. Outside.
Well, you talked about it, the big road trip he had. I mentioned the 4-game hit streak he's on. Hitting the long ball, driving in runs, too.
His 42 RBIs with runners in scoring position, the most among active Marlins. It's accounted for 42 of the 47. And he shoots one into right, the base hit. That'll tie it.
You just knew it.
And another blown game for this Nationals bullpen.
You're absolutely right. The way he's going right now, that's the guy you want at the plate. He'll hit a mistake. He almost climbs the ladder to get to that pitch up in the zone. Doesn't try to pull it. Just shoots it into right field.
So a triple and a game-tying opposite field RBI single for Javier Sanoja. That was a gutsy triple for Marcy, because watching the replay, Cruz actually played it rather nicely in the corner, but Marcy really just started to outrun the baseball there.
Yeah, Cruz played it as well as you can play.
No bobble. All right, so we're tied. You've got the lefty on the mound. There's speed at first. A ton of slug at the plate. Can the Marlins do it again late? This is shades of Cincinnati when the Marlins scored all those runs in the 8th and the 9th inning last Saturday and Sunday. Conine 0 for 2, walked back in the first.
What do you see? That first pitch sweeper.
I'm stunned he gets away with it. A fastball that's lifted in the air outside of third, but that'll reach the seats. Musgrove's fastball is hit at a 333 clip. Sinker that he rarely ever throws, hitting 400 against it, hitting 226 against his sweeper. 0-2. Conine takes a sweeper.
Yeah, and the fastball doesn't usually even touch 90. It's in the upper 80s.
So this is a silly question, but maybe you could answer it. Can you almost sit sweeper and adjust to the fastball?
Yeah, you can. With a guy like this, you can. You might not hit the fastball great, but if you're sitting sweeper, you're going to have a better eye on that pitch, which he saw again there and took for ball one.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Conine, or 2 balls, 2 strikes, I beg your pardon. Swing and a miss. And he struck him out with a sweeper for out number 1.
Yeah, you knew he was going to get that because that's his go-to pitch. Boy, the arm angle, and he located that one well. If you hang it a little bit, have a much better chance, but he located that perfectly.
So I love to ask you this, and I guess you can gnaw on it because we're going to have to go to break. How much more aggressive do you start to get with 1 out and a chance to take the lead? We'll find out when we return. Blake Butera will go to the bullpen. Now back here in Miami. And don't forget, celebrate 3-time Gold Glove winner and World Series champion Luis Castillo. It's coming up tomorrow at 4:10. It's the next Legends Pin Series. Special package includes a Legends level seat and a limited edition Luis Castillo collector spin. Get those tickets at marlins.com/pin series.
All right, the Marlins can go after a guy now. We've talked about this a lot. Relievers who, in this day and age, have a number of pitches. But Clayton Beeter, he'll come at you with sliders and 4-seamers.
He's allowed a career high 8 stolen bases if you're thinking about Sanoha getting busy at first. Edwards hitting from the left side at the plate. First pitch, bouncing ball right side. Where are they going to go with it? The only play is the first. Sanoha up to second. Now there's 2 outs with the go-ahead run in scoring position. Would you have liked to seen him be a little bit more patient, see if we can get into runner into scoring position there? You got to attack.
You know, I think he's attacking. He's looking. He got the pitch he was looking for. Just got on top of it.
Well, that'll set the table for Otto Lopez, who's 0 for 3. There's strike 1.
I would say Otto's due. A big base hit
so.
right here.
I agree with you. Otto 0 for 1 against Beeter. Hasn't faced him since September 1st of last season when he flew out to right against them. Ground out, couple of flyouts tonight for Lopez, who waits on a 1-1 pitch. Chase the slider, 1-2. Marlins looking for a big hit. They've at least, at the very minimum, tied this game here in the 8th. Thanks to a Jacob Marcy triple and Sanoha RBI single. And a line drive through the right side, a base hit. That'll give the boys the lead. A 2-out RBI single for Otto Lopez. 2-1 Marlins.
Just what the doctor ordered for Otto Lopez. He got that slider. We talked about sliders and 2-seamers. He got the slider, little bit away, stay back, shoot it the other way. Perfect approach and swing by Otto Lopez.
His 55th RBI of the season, a big one. And the Marlins lead for the first time tonight. Here's Heriberto Hernandez. Lopez at first with 2 outs. Heriberto 0 for 3 tonight. Steve one. Pete Fairbanks continues to loosen in the bullpen.
Yeah, he was up earlier, and I'm trying to think if he would have come in had the score stayed 1-0, Marlins trailing.
Well, he hasn't pitched.
Been a while
since last Saturday, so
yeah.
My suspicion was going to be yes. Boy, another blown game for this Nationals bullpen. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw to second, not in time. And Otto has his 25th stolen bag of the year.
Tell you, just another part of Otto Lopez's game that, you know, he'll bring out, not all the time, but has that ability to steal a bag. And as you mentioned, number 25 there.
Went screaming into the bag at second. Now can the Marlins come up with another big 2-out hit? Lopez has just gave him the lead. Can Hernandez give him some insurance for Fairbanks? Downstairs, ball 2.
Well, we know how Heriberto can attack sliders. And if he gets a slider in a good hitting zone, he's going to put a good swing on it.
2-1 Marlins. We're in the 8th. 2-2. Swinging a fly ball. Right field. Twisting towards the seats. Foul. Just a little late on that fastball. That was about all he was going to do with that pitch. He had to protect because it was borderline on the outside corner. Triple, single, strikeout, ground out, RBI single. Good eye. The Marlins are trying to win for the 6th time in 7 games against the Nationals this season. Three-2. Check swing. Did he go? No. And there's ball 4. Now there's 2 on and 2 out for Joe Mack, who's 0 for 3.
Let's see if he held back. According to first base umpire DJ Rayburn, certainly. Yeah, he did. Yeah, this is again to point out what we talked about at the very beginning of the telecast. It's the Nationals club right now. They lost 2-0 last night in Texas. Of course, they had to face DeGrom. They're having trouble scoring. 2 of their big guys, C.J. Abrams, a sprained ankle. We don't know how long he's out. James Wood is out with an oblique issue. He might be out for a little longer. And Luis Garcia Jr., they traded. So they're missing a big part of their lineup. So take advantage of that.
Yeah, the Marlins trying to do just that. They have here in the 8th as Joe Mack takes a fastball high. Prior to Washington's series in Texas, the last time that they were shut out twice in the same series was September of 2024. This is that offense right now. Marlins pitching has kept them in check. Joe Mack at the plate. You know what's kind of crazy about Washington too is that the position players outside of Abrams and Wood now, they've been pretty healthy this year. They just continue to search for something that works on the mound.
Yeah, they've used 35 different pitchers. How about that?
Probably far too many. Hey, this is a great hitter's count right here. Get yourself a juicy fastball and unload on one if you're Mack. Lopez at second, Hernandez at first. 2-0 pitch.
I was going to say you might want to look slider because that's a pitch he likes to use.
Yeah.
So there's sometimes when you get in that hitter's count, you got to think backwards. You got to think what is that pitcher like out there the best?
And the breaking run value is much better for Beater than his fastball run value. Oh, he just got underneath it. He slams his bat down in disgust. But I got good news, my friends. The Marlins scored twice here in the 8th. There's another save in it for Pete Fairbanks. Fasten those seatbelts. Let's see if the Marlins can polish them off when we return.
Pizza Hut.
Well, back here at Lone Depot Park, Pete Fairbanks is on for the save as we go to the top of the 9th inning. And I'll tell you what, this guy has totally turned his season around. His last 8 appearances, spanning 8 innings, 1 hit, 13 strikeouts, and 5 saves.
Yeah, and the walks have been down. 2 walks during that period of time. He has been just outstanding.
Got a sub-3 ERA since the beginning of July. Dylan Cruz leads things off, and he takes that cutter on the inside corner for strike 1. So Cruz, Nunez, and Young. Bottom third of the order here for Fairbanks. Trying to save his 19th game of the year. This is popped in the air. Twisting back towards the field of play, but it's off the roof of the dugout, foul. Cruz 1 for 3 tonight. Fairbanks' ERA continues to trend south, which is certainly a good thing.
I want to take that ERA to the southernmost point.
I think he'd love Key West. The Mack truck. There's dishing out the signs here in the 0-2. He struck him out. 1 away.
I tell you, Pete has gotten himself in that rhythm, and that's why we've seen the mixes of pitches that he features. We've seen that 4-seamer, but we've seen tremendous sliders and cutters. So his entire repertoire's been there during this 8-game streak, and it looks like it's still there tonight.
And Jose Tena is going to pinch hit for Nasim Nunez. At least give them a better chance at the plate. Missed outside. So 1 up and 1 down here in the 9th. Marlins with 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Against a dicey Nationals bullpen. Tena takes a strike. Marlins have 24 comeback wins this season. They've played 6 games so far against the Nationals. They've won 5 of them. The 1-1.
Jose Tena. Remember Juan Uribe?
Oh yeah.
That's his uncle.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The Spider-Man. Steve, right to. Sweet bat. You should consider swinging. Outside, ball 3. Three-two. Oh, strike 3 call. And Tena says challenge. The problem is they don't have a challenge, and there's 2 out. Oh, wow.
It's a perfect example of why you like to keep those challenges for late in the game.
This missed outside, didn't it?
Oh, it wasn't close.
Looked good to me.
Pete
2
got
away.
the call. He's going to take it. He's happy they had no more challenges.
Looked good to me, Hut. Swing and a miss by Jacob Young. there's probably a lot going through Blake Butera and Clayton McCullough's minds. Pete Fairbanks is feeling it.
Yeah, he's got it going right now.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
He's doing exactly what he wants to do with the baseball. They come to their feet here at Lone Depot Park. Marlins a strike away. Trying to hop back over 500 at 65 and 64 on the verge after 2 unanswered in the 8th. 0-2. Just a bit upstairs.
Let's see if he comes back with that slider after that last fastball. He did. Pretty good take.
I think if he throws it again, he might get a swing and miss.
That's where he wanted it.
Yeah.
He wanted Young to chase it.
Two and two now. Now it's full.
I'm with you. I think if he throws that slider, even if he misses with it this time, Young will chase it.
He's punched out the first 2.
Ah, he didn't. That was a cutter, but it was a good AB, a good eye by Young.
And I think that's really going to frustrate Fairbanks as he hopped out in front of him, 0-2. And now we go back to the top of the order for Lyle. There's 1 for 3 in this game, or 2 for 4, I beg your pardon. Now Young can run. I cannot imagine they would turn him loose, but I don't know. I guess if you don't have a whole lot to play for, you can get aggressive, see if you can make something happen. And Lyle takes strike 1. Oh, I'll tell you what, Hut, with no challenges left, Rob Drake's strike zone is huge. I mean, that missed by a good 2.5 inches upstairs. 0-1 on Lyle. Young at first. His lead at first is very interesting.
The way he sets his body up. Yeah. It's kind of like an open stance
a little
at
bit,
the plate.
Gets behind the bag and just, yeah, you're right.
He opens
himself up. No way he would go. And Lyle fouls it off. It's 0-2. Boy, that slider had a lot of the plate, and Lyle wants that pitch back. And he ain't getting it back. Boy, Marlins enter play 4 and 52 when trailing after 7 innings this season, 25th in baseball. Oh, 2. Foul. It's not going to be easy to sneak anything by Conine down the line, holding on Young. The infield defense shades Lyle to pull the ball. Snow out near shortstop. Outfielders are deep, playing no doubles. 0-2 on Lyle. Marlins a strike away. Coming from behind to win game 1. Fairbanks delivers. Nationals are 1 in 58 when trailing after 8 innings this season. Another 0-2 coming. Boy, that's the second disengagement with 2 strikes.
Yeah, second time.
Ooh. That leads me to believe you got to try if you're young. Not going. The 0-2 misses up and away.
Yeah, Pete hasn't had a problem getting ahead 0-2. So let's see if this time he can put away Lyle.
One and 2. There goes the runner. The pitch outside. Throw to second, not in time. Now the tying run in scoring position with 2 outs. 14th stolen base of the season for Young.
Yeah, he just got a tremendous jump, knowing that there had already been a couple of disengagements.
And now Joe Mack wants to go out and chat with Fairbanks. It just felt, at least to me, Hut, like if you're the Nationals, you're 7 under with a little over 30 games to go in that situation. You got to give it a shot. You can't
Why
be
not?
thinking,
Yeah.
what if afterwards at the hotel, why we didn't go after 2 disengagements. So it's 2-2 on Lyle with Bibas on deck. Butera's got the tying run in scoring position. Marlins trying to hang on after 2 unanswered in the bottom of the 8th. Still a strike away from ending it. 2-2. Oof. And like these Nationals have done all night long, really battling. Fairbanks punched out Cruz and Nunez. Young walked behind the count 0-2, then stole second. Still 2-2 on Lyle. This will be the 8th pitch he sees from Pete. Here it comes. Line drive into left field, the base hit. Here comes Young. Here comes the throw from Hernandez. It's not in time. And we are tied. A game-tying opposite field RBI single from Dalen Lyle.
And so many times when there's not a play at the plate, you let the runner get to scoring position. This ball was hit well. It was a good jump by Young. It's a big outfield. No chance to get him at the plate.
Ball's got to go where? Second?
Well, it's got to be a lower throw. And then you have to make the decision as an infielder if you want to cut it off.
So here is Bibas. And he pops one up. Shallow right. Long way to go for everybody. Otto's got it. And the inning is over. But the Nationals tie it here in the 9th. 2-2, middle of the 9th in Miami. Miami Marlins baseball is brought to you by Hard Rock Bet, the official betting partner of the Miami Marlins. We are tied at 2. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Marlins with 2 unanswered in the bottom of the 8th. 2 out, game tying RBI single from Dalen Lyle in the 9th. So a blown save for Pete Fairbanks. Clayton Beeter remains in the game for Washington. He'll face Ramirez to start. Augustine takes outside for ball 1. So here's the situation for Miami. Ramirez, Jimenez, check that, Ruiz, and Marcy. Ooh. Backed him off the plate, 2-0. Marlins have 5 walk-off wins this season. Good pitch to hit here if you're Augustine. Just kidding, 3-0.
A little bit high.
Yeah, that one missed just a touch upstairs, actually. But okay.
Interesting decision.
I was going to say, you knew exactly what I was thinking.
Because he hasn't shown he's around the plate, so you might not want to turn him loose, but on the other hand, if you do and he gets a pitch, he can hit it. ball game's
You know,
over.
this is taboo. I just don't think he could throw 3 straight strikes.
So that's why it'd make you take.
There's ball 4. Ramirez wasn't sure, but that was the correct call from Rob Drake. And now the winning run is at first base. So you don't have a whole lot of speed there. And there's really nowhere else to turn, so Ramirez is going to have to run. And with Ruiz coming to the plate, here's the pitch again. That's a great call.
Couple of good ABs by Gus last 2 times up, drawing walks and taking close pitches.
What do you do? What do you ask Ruiz to do here? You ask him to bunt the ball?
Yeah, I'd like to see him do that.
Can he do it? He takes low. That's 5 in a row out of the zone, and now Ruiz needs to come chat with Beater.
Ruiz is a guy that even if he shows bunt in a sacrifice situation, if he gets down a pretty good bunt, he can beat it out himself.
This is an interesting one, too. This reminds me a lot of Tanner Scott back in the day when he would walk the leadoff guy. Teams would give him a free out by bunting again. Like, this is hard. He's thrown 5 out of the zone. If you give him a free out on a sac bunt, are you letting him settle into the inning? That's 5 in a row out of the zone. They haven't been close.
The game is played so different now. There was a time that, yeah, you'd automatically be taking right here.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, we'll see what they ask him to do. He's squaring, and he gets it down. Beater with a bare hand throw to first. Oh, he threw it down the right field line. Ramirez on his way to third. He'll stop right there. And the winning run is at third. Beater unable to field this position cleanly, and the Marlins are in business. I was shades of the Cardinals a couple of years ago here.
What a great job by Blake Lally to get all the way down the line. He knew that Gus was thinking about trying to score all the way from first. Watch Beater come off. He airmails it. No chance for anybody.
Who was he throwing it to?
He was throwing it to Craig Driver. But look at Blake Lally. Yep, now he realizes he's got to go back up home.
The throw to first was a taxi cab ride away from the bag, and now Simon Matthews needs to come chat with his right-hander because this game is very much now on thin ice for Washington. Ooh, you know what they did? I thought they were going to give him a sack and an E1. They go base hit all the way. All right, Ruiz will take it. So 5 walk-off wins for the Marlins. They're going to walk Marcy. They're going to intentionally walk Jacob to load the bases with nobody out. Aha! And what do you know, my friends? Guess who's coming to the plate? Javier Sanoja. Well, what do we got here? He tied the game in the 8th, and he's got a chance to win it here in the 9th.
Can we go out on a limb, knowing Javi and what he's done? Can we borrow a phrase of our good friend Howie Rose and just say put it in the books?
We can put it in the books. Ball 1. Beater is in a corner. He's got to throw strikes. If you got a guy at the plate who's the best bad ball hitter in the league and just squares everything up. Augustine's got to be careful. He's at third. The outfield is shallow. And there's ball 2. He might just walk him.
Yeah, this inning has totally gotten away from Beater. It's in his head after the leadoff walk and then the error. It would be hard for anybody to get back into an inning like this.
Javier Sanoja has got to be really patient here. It's very hard for him to do. This guy's a mess on the mound. The 2-0. Swinging a pop-up behind first. Long way to run. Here comes Cruz over. It's foul. That was dangerously close to being ball 3 if Sanoja did not swing at that pitch. Now he's looking over into the dugout, just measuring things up. This has got to be the worst feeling in the world on the mound. Javier Sanoja has never collected a walk-off hit in the major leagues. Infield in, outfield in. 2-1 the count, bases loaded, nobody out. 2-2. Well, he knows heaters are coming. He's just a little tardy on that one.
By the way, that's a surprise. The fact that Javi has never had a walk-off hit.
I know it. Well, they're on their feet here in Miami tonight. So from 2-0 to 2-2. Maybe Beater starting to build maybe a slight sense of confidence. Thought maybe the Nationals would play with a 5-man infield, but they leave all 3 outfielders out there.
And they're all very shallow.
Very shallow. Interesting on a shallow fly ball. Would Ramirez try to go? 2-2. Popped him up behind the plate. And foul. Just on the other side of the netting. I mean, that's a matter of inches right there.
Javi takes a deep breath. He lives for another pitch, because for a moment it looked like Ruiz was tracking that.
Nothing but fastballs, and he probably can't afford to throw anything else. Still 2-2. Sanoja has seen 5 heaters. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Marlins win it. A walk-off winner for Javier Sanoja.
He is such a great bad ball hitter. That slider was off the plate by 4 to 6 inches. He went out and reached at it, dribbled it up the middle just enough to pick up the walk-off. So now, Javi, you got yourself a walk-off base hit.
6th walk-off win of the season for the Marlins. I think Pete Fairbanks will take the win. Miami got 2 in the 8th. Nationals tied it in the 9th. But a disaster of a bottom of the 9th inning for Clayton Beater. And the Marlins beat the Nationals 3-2.
Let's see if we can see this pitch that Javier was able to put up the middle for the base hit. How much off the plate? Pitches a ball. He says, the heck with that. I'll bang it up the middle and end this thing. Great job. Great job all around to come out and play a team that you know you should beat, especially with them being banged up a little bit. But all of a sudden it was a close game toward the end. The Marlins stayed right there. But give them credit. The pitching did a good job keeping it the way they did. There were some big base hits in the ball game. Big RBI by Otto Lopez in that 8th inning, but none bigger than Javier Lopez winning it with the walk-off.
We were talking about this before the game. It's just where you're at in the season, and to your point, playing the team you're playing, at the bare minimum, you have to win this series.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's too greedy to say you should sweep them too. You better go win it tomorrow with Yuri. We see what happens when we get there on Sunday, but it's an excellent start to the weekend into the homestand. Boys are fired up. They're happy. Well, good for them. They needed it. They needed it.
It's a good pick-me-up, too, after the Nationals scored that run off of Pete Fairbanks to tie the game.
Absolutely.
So the crowd is happy. They saw a good ball game.
I'm happy. You're happy.
Yeah, we're all happy.
We're all happy. Javi gets to go talk with Kelly. That should make him happy. All right, Kelly, let's go down to you. If you need any help with the Spanish, just let me know.
I'll let you know, Kyle. Javi, your first career walk-off hit. Everyone's chanting your name behind you. How'd this one feel?
No, mira, me siento muy contento. Gracias a Dios pude mantener mi plan, poner la bola en juego y poder conseguir la victoria.
He said he feels very happy, thanks to God, that he was able to stick to his plan and put the ball in play. Let's talk about that plan. With Beater struggling with his control, what was the approach going into that with bases loaded, winning run on third?
Dímelo en español.
En español. Con Beater, que él estaba... ¿Cuál fue tu plan contra Beater?
Pone la bola en juego, buscar un picheo cerca, ser un poco selectivo. Heriberto de fastidio. Nada, poner la bola en juego. Sabía que toda la defensa estaba adentro y eso es lo que yo quería, poner la bola en juego para que algo pasara y eso fue lo que pasó.
He noticed that the defense was in, so he was just looking for an opportunity to put the ball in play. Javi, last one, you didn't start the game, but you tied it up and you won it. How do you stay ready when you're not starting?
Mira, yo creo que esa es parte del juego. Cuando no estoy abriendo, yo creo que mantenerme ready en el dugout. Ya había hecho swing en el tercer inning y estaba ready para lo que pasara y gracias a Dios me llegó la oportunidad.
He says he's always staying ready, guys. In the third inning, he's practicing his swing, just getting ready to come into the game, and thank God he was able to do just that. Javi, congratulations. Thanks so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Back up to you guys.
All right, guys, thank you. You never have to get ready if you stay ready, and Javier Sanoja wins it for the Marlins, a ball game they needed, and they're back over 500 on the year. That's your game winner. Who does it better than Javi? I don't know if anybody does. Final score, Marlins 3, Nationals 2. They walk them off. Next telecast tomorrow. The post-game show's coming up next. For Tommy Hutton and Kelly Sacco, our director Brad Gersten, and our producer John Sulzer, I'm Kyle Seeloff saying so long from Lone Depot Park. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Don't go anywhere. Plenty more. The Marlins post-game show is next.